With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
This is Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Coming to you from the Circus Sportsbook in downtown Las Vegas, I'm Scott Seidenberg. It's Live Bet Sunday here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We are tracking the final Elite Eight game between Michigan State and Auburn, with the final ticket to the Final Four being punched. Will it be all four number one seeds, or will Michigan State buck a trend that is now 0-40 going back to 1985? Plus, we have action in the NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball, Sunday Night Baseball getting underway momentarily, so we are going to get you updated on everything going on and cash some live bets along the way. Speaking of live bets, I am sweating out a live bet on Michigan State, which has me holding my head at times, a la the shaking my head emoji that you see online, as Auburn continues to have their way with Michigan State, leading now 62-50 with 3 minutes and 35 seconds left to go in the game. Auburn is a 12.5-point live favorite. They closed as a 5.5-point favorite, and this game has never been in doubt. There was one moment here in the second half, not that long ago. Janai Broome for Auburn leaves the game with an apparent elbow injury. There is videos circulating around Twitter that Janai Broome says, I'm done. I'm done. And at that point, I'm thinking to myself, well, this is a 10-point game. Janai Broome's out. I think that this is an opportunity maybe to live bet Michigan State to win. Now, I didn't do that, thankfully, but I still have Michigan State plus 7.5 on a live bet that it's going to get sweaty here down the stretch. And if you took Michigan State before the game, 5 most places, couple of 5.5s on the board. Consensus, Auburn was -5 with a total of 147 for this game. Live total right now is 130.5. And as I mentioned, your live line, -12.5. Auburn will be shooting free throws after they return from the under 4 timeout. I've been bothered by a lot of what I've seen from Michigan State, and a lot of it has to do with, honestly, just the state of basketball these days. I tweeted something out moments ago because there was just a 5-point swing in this game where Michigan State got a turnover, and instead of going up strong to the basket and going for a layup, they passed it out to the three-point line, missed a three, and then Janai Broome hits a three on the other end. And I tweeted out, passing up layups to chuck up threes, this is the state of basketball these days, and it's terrible. And I know Tom Izzo is an incredible coach, and yes, you got to, teach these two-year players, but they're down by 10. They're trying to make a play. Transition threes are all of a sudden all the rage in basketball, so I get it. I understand what the player's seeing on the floor. His teammate's open for a three. He's going to kick it out to him. And maybe I just sound like get off my lawn guy. Maybe I'm old school, but you got a one-on-one with the defender, just take it up strong to the basket and get the three the old-fashioned way. But instead, missed three-pointer, leads to a long rebound, leads to a transition opportunity for Auburn. Janai Broome hits the three after returning to the game in his Willis Reed moment. And there you have it, 62-50, your score right now with Auburn shooting free throws. If you look at the stats in this game, really in the first half, it was about the inability for Michigan State to make a three-pointer. On the game, they are 3 of 17 from three-point range. Auburn, meanwhile, 7 of 24. Michigan State shooting 29.8% from the field, while Auburn 43.1% from the field. Michigan State has done a good job of getting to the free throw line, 13 of 14 from the free throw line. Auburn just 5 of 8 and a 62-50 lead, shooting 2 free throws right now for Auburn. Both teams are in the bonus. This is crunch time here. Spread drama, possibly. Can Michigan State get inside the 5 number? Listen, I say it now that it is tough to see it happen. However, let's keep in mind what we saw yesterday. Florida went on a 16-2 run in the final 2 minutes and 30 seconds and stole that game away from Texas Tech. 16-2 run. Florida, who hadn't hit a three-pointer all night yesterday, made their final 4 three-pointers to go on that run and erase a deficit. So Michigan State, who has been awful shooting threes in this game, very easily could get back into it if they just make a couple down the stretch. That being said, 3 minutes left in the game. Auburn's going to do their best to slow it down. Michigan at some point will play the foul game. You just wonder, can they get inside single digits? Can they make it a game to put some pressure on Auburn? Now, I mentioned both teams are in the bonus, so it's not like there's any fouls to give. It would be just a regular 1-and-1 if Auburn gets to the free throw line. Michigan State is in the double bonus. But 3 minutes left, a three-pointer goes up for Auburn, and then Michigan State gets the rebound, and a foul is called. I'm very confused where the foul was on the floor, but look, there's been questionable officiating all throughout this NCAA tournament. Obviously, the star players and star teams are getting some star treatment. At least that's what I've noticed. At least the benefit of the whistle. And I know the sports books cannot be happy because this is the chalky of chalkiest tournaments that we've seen. It has been nothing but favorites throughout this entire NCAA tournament, and we're about to see the first time since 2008 that all 4 number 1 seeds make the Final Four. If you would have bet that before the tournament, 15-1 odds most places on all 4 number 1 seeds to get to the Final Four. And this was a year that you could have bet it because this was a year where it seemed to be the haves and the have-nots, right? The teams that have the talent, the teams that have the players, the NIL money, and the other teams that don't. And that's why we have not seen Cinderella in this NCAA tournament. We have not seen upsets. There's been very, very few dogs that have won. If you look at just the numbers in this tournament, favorites right now, 50-13 straight up, 34-29 against the spread. And the big favorites, mind you, the 6-point or more favorites, 31-2 straight up, and 21-12, I believe it is ATS. But this tournament favorites, as I mentioned, 50-13 straight up, so a bad tournament if you were one of those. Bet every underdog, guys. But 34-29 against the spread with this Michigan State and Auburn game pending. Now, Michigan State just drilled a 3, so it pulls them a little bit closer here. 1:50 left here in the game. Auburn leads 64-55. Live line, Michigan State -9.5. If you were so inclined to bet a Michigan State money line, by the way, and you wanted to, it's plus 5,000 on Michigan State money line. I'm not sure if anybody wants to take a sprinkle on it. You know, you're down 9 points here, but stranger things have happened. Auburn has the ball coming out of the commercial break. Elsewhere, we're going to track what's going on the ice and in the NBA. There's only one NBA game going on right now. It is the Trailblazers and the Knicks from Madison Square Garden, and then several games will be tipping off momentarily. But at the half right now, the Blazers lead the Knicks 58-50. So your live market right now on that game, Knicks -1.5 for the game. Knicks -1.5. The Knicks closed as 7-point favorites in this game. They closed as 7-point favorites with a total of 219. Your live number on the Knicks right now, -1.5 for the game, 220.5 for your total. taking a look at the stats inside this Knicks game right now for the Knicks, they are led by OG Anunoby. He's got 15 points. Precious Achiuwa off the bench has 10. But nothing from Karl Anthony Towns, just 5 points from Karl Anthony Towns on 2 of 9 shooting. That is not going to continue. He will find it in the second half. Josh Hart only has 5 points on 1 of 4 shooting. Mikal Bridges with 7 points on 2 of 7 shooting. For Portland, Denny Avdija, 22 points, 9 of 15 from the field. Shaedon Sharp's got 11 on 5 of 9 shooting. Anthony Simons, 4 of 9 from the field, 10 points. I mean, Portland's shooting the ball hot. Portland, 55.8% from the field. That's going to cool off. I like a Knicks second half bet here. So, Knicks second half, or you could just take Knicks if you want them on the money line right now. It's minus 120 just to win the game. They're down 8 at the half, and we see these teams make these third quarter runs all the time. As I mentioned, Knicks closed as a 7-point favorite. Live line, Knicks minus 1.5, or Knicks minus 120 on the money line. So we'll keep you up to date on everything going on in the NBA. But our first live bet of this live bet show here on Live Bet Sunday is going to be the New York Knicks, and we'll do the minus 120. Knicks to win the game, minus 120 right now against the Portland Trailblazers. So I co-sign a Knicks second half bet. We're back underway in Atlanta, 64-55. Auburn leads Michigan State. We'll keep you up to date on everything going on, plus more live betting opportunities coming up next. I'm Scott Seidenberg. You can hit me up on Twitter at ScottsOnAir, ScottsOnAir. Hit us all up on the network at VSIN Live. Will Auburn cover the number? We know they're going to win, barring a miracle here, but will they cover the number? That will be determined coming up next. This is Live Bet Sunday right here on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Live Bet Sunday on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network.
Scott Seidenberg back here with you. It's Live Bet Sunday here on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network. And, sometimes it comes down to free throws, folks. Can't cover a game if you don't hit your free throws. Michigan State was down 9, 2 free throws get missed. So instead of being down 7, now they're down 11 after they foul Auburn, and they're just playing out the strings here with a minute left in the game. A miracle 3 just went in for Michigan State. So 69-61, Auburn leads Michigan State. 59 seconds left in the game. Michigan State will once again look to get a steal and then foul. And, hey, maybe there's a chance they can get inside the number, down just 8 right now. But it's funny, these favorites, I mentioned the record. With Auburn winning this game, it's going to be 51-13 straight up in this NCAA tournament. Not only that, going back to, I guess it's the, what do we have? When Ole Miss upset Iowa State in the Sweet 16. Was that the Sweet 16 or the second round? I mean, this bracket has just like morphed into itself right now. So that game, the Ole Miss win over Iowa State was in the second round. Okay? Going back to that game, we have not had an upset since. Here's your results. That was a straight-up loss by the favorite in Iowa State. Since then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and this will be 13 straight wins. Straight up. Not ATS. Straight up for the favorites. I mean, I've talked to some people, behind the counter, and it's like the money line parlays, the public is just crushing and crushing. I know people have joked about it on Twitter. I've seen people say, hey, money line favorites, that's all you got to do. And then you just retire. And then, like Eli Hershkowitz tweeted that out. Parlay money line favorites in March Madness and then retire. Like, it's true. This is unreal what we are seeing from these favorites. Absolutely no upsets here in the NCAA tournament. So let's see what Michigan State can do here and try and get inside the number, possibly. Down 8 right now with 59 seconds left. Hey, if they can force a turnover without fouling, or if they can get to the free throw line and they do get the turnover, oh my goodness. Michigan State's got the ball. A three-pointer is up and missed, and Auburn gets the rebound, and that'll do it. So there's a foul, 43 seconds left. Auburn going to the free throw line. That was it. That was the cover play right there for Michigan State. They got the steal. They got the three-pointer. It was a bad look, by the way. I mean, you could have looked for a better look than that. But at this point, you're down 8. You're battling against the clock. I get it, the need to kind of rush up the three there. But it was a well-defended three-point attempt and then a clear, easy rebound for Auburn. So 2 shots for the Tigers as they will look to push this back to a 10-point lead with 43.3 seconds left. And meanwhile, Knicks and Trailblazers have not started that second half yet, but I am on the New York Knicks money line to win the game right now, minus 120. DraftKings has moved it up now to minus 125, so we'll let you know when that gets back underway. Also sweating out some hockey games right now. The Hurricanes and Islanders, 10 minutes to go in regulation. The Hurricanes have just taken a 5-4 lead over the Islanders. I have Hurricanes minus a goal and a half, so we'd love to see that happen. It's been a pretty wild game and not a good goaltending performance from Pyotr Kochetkov for the Islanders. I do have a best bet coming up on the ice a little bit later on this evening, so we'll let you know about that and also track some live betting opportunities. 1 of 2 free throws is made for Auburn. Michigan State has the ball now, and they will look to, maybe shoot another 3. Another 3-point attempt for Michigan State, another miss, another rebound for Auburn, and more. Oh, maybe. And they're fighting for it on the ground. It's going to be a jump ball. Auburn does have the possession arrow. So it's going to be another foul situation for Michigan State. Now, again, I feel like I sound like the get off my lawn guy. I do. But you're down 9. You're not like... There's still time. If you're going to play the free throw game, if you're going to play the foul game, you're going to trap on the inbounds, they're giving you the basket. Just get points. You can't come back unless you get points. I understand. You're thinking, listen, 3-pointers. The only way we're going to win the game is if we get some threes. Sure, I get that. Oh, a steal by Michigan State? Oh, and he throws it away. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Michigan State just stole the inbound pass and instead of laying it up at the basket, threw it out to a teammate for a 3-pointer, and he threw it away out of bounds. How many chances has Auburn given Michigan State to cover this game? And they have not. Unreal. Unreal. I've never seen it. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, Janai Bruin's at the free throw line now. He'll extend this to either a 10 or an 11-point lead for Auburn. He misses the first one. This is so funny. The Spartans haven't capitalized. I'm tweeting this out right now. You guys can follow me on Twitter at ScottsOnAir, SCOTTSONAIR. Would love your thoughts as well on what we've seen. Janai Bruin misses both free throws, and here comes Sparty down the court again. Another 3-point attempt. This one rattles in. Here we go. Maybe there's a chance. Maybe there's a chance. Spread drama now. It is a 6-point game, 70-64. And I just tweeted out, it's unreal how many chances Auburn has given Michigan State to cover, and the Spartans haven't taken advantage, but maybe now they can. Here's where we're at right now. There is 11 seconds left in this game. 11 seconds left. This is about to be the most dramatic 11 seconds that you're going to find right now, because Michigan State's going to foul. Auburn will be going to the free throw line. Michigan State does have the possession arrow if there is a held ball when they try and steal the inbound or whatnot. But what's going to happen here is there's going to be a foul. Michigan State will have the ball, or Auburn will have the free throws, and then let's say they make 2, a 6-point lead becomes an 8-point lead. Then Michigan State can make a 3 and lose the game by 5. It winds up being a push on the -5 or a cover on the 5.5, depending on what you have. And Michigan State, they almost stole it. It goes out of bounds, 4.3 seconds left as it goes out of bounds on Michigan State. 6-point game. Is Izzo saying don't foul? I think Tom Izzo just said don't foul. Tom Izzo just said don't foul. Oh my goodness. Game is over. Tom Izzo shakes. Listen, I don't want to rub the loss or the win in anybody's faces. This is not what this is about. Sometimes you can hit a live bet. Sometimes you don't hit a live bet. Sometimes you hit a pregame bet. Sometimes you don't hit a pregame bet. It's just the nature of the business that we live in. But I started this program about 20 minutes ago saying that I put in a live bet on Michigan State plus 7.5. Michigan State loses by 6. Cash the live bet. If you had Michigan State plus 5.5, I feel your pain. As I tweeted out, Auburn gave the Spartans every chance to cover in this game. Missing free throws, turning the ball over at the end. They were never in doubt of losing this game. Auburn was in control of this entire game. But they gave Michigan State every opportunity to cover. And Michigan State unable to get inside the number. Tom Izzo elects not to foul with 4 seconds left in the game. He and Bruce Pearl exchange pleasantries. And for the first time since 2008, we have 4 number 1 seeds in the Final Four. That's unreal. Congratulations to all those who have cashed in all 4 Final Four, all 4 1 seeds. Congratulations, 15-1 odds. And it's only happened one other time. Now make it 2 times since the field expanded in 1985. Well, your brackets might be done, unless you picked all 4 1 seeds, but the tournament sure isn't, and neither is your chances to win. Become a VSiN Pro subscriber today for just $9.99. Turn your tournament heartbreak into betting success with daily best bets from VSiN hosts and guests, exclusive betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, 24/7 video access on the VSiN Watch app, and full VSiN.com access. Sign up now, vsin.com/subscribe for just $9.99. Let VSiN help you turn the madness into money. That's VSIN.com/subscribe. I'm Scott Seidenberg. It's Live Bet Sunday right here on VSiN.
This is Live Bet Sunday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back here on Live Bet Sunday, I'm Scott Seidenberg here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Always on Twitter, at Scott's On Air. Hit us all up on the network, at VSiN Live. So, all 4 number 1 seeds make the Final Four for just the second time ever since the tournament expanded in 1985. And no one is surprised. Because this year, above all years, I think was the idea that the chalk was going to play out. Because we are in the NIL era, where the teams in the power conferences, the bigger programs, especially the ones with big-time football programs, have more money to spend on their basketball program. Look at the Final Four. You have Auburn, SEC, Florida, SEC, Houston, Big 12, Duke, ACC. Duke and Houston, Duke obviously is an exception. It's not about how big the football program is. Duke is just been, the basketball program feeds everything. Houston, I feel like of all the number 1 seeds, they're the one that no one's talking about. It's all about Auburn and Janai Broome, the number 1 overall seed in this tournament. They've been the best team all season long out of the SEC. Florida, who Todd Golden, the wonder kid, who has gone on to just all of a sudden dominate the SEC, win the conference tournament, right? Great stretch at the end of the season. Duke is Duke with Cooper Flagg, the player of the year and the likely number 1 overall pick. And then there's Houston, who is being underlooked here, yet Kelvin Sampson has been a 1 seed in this tournament for the past 3 years. And inside their conference, the Big 12 has gone, 36-3 or 35-4, whatever it is, over the past several years? They have the best defense in the country, sans St. John's. If you look at Ken Palm's adjusted offense and defensive efficiencies, Houston, it was number 1 on defense, number 10 on offense. Well, that includes the tournament, but if you go before the tournament, they were even higher than that on offense. They're one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country, and yet they're overlooked. It just feels like they're being disrespected. They were disrespected in the market for sure, because of all the 1 seeds, when you looked at the odds to win the tournament, Houston was the 4th of the 4 1 seeds. And yet, here they are in the Final Four once again. And maybe because people were burned by them in the past, right? And so they're thinking, I can't bet Houston. They did me dirty when I bet them last year or the year before. And so maybe there's Houston fatigue or, the idea that, hey, I haven't seen them get it done yet, so I can't bet on them to get it done. Your odds right now, Duke plus 110, Florida plus 250. Houston plus 400, Auburn plus 475. And yes, those odds do mean that Florida is a favorite over Auburn. Let's check the market right now as the numbers are, just being released here. We have Final Four games. Duke is a 4.5-point favorite over Houston, total of 137. Florida, 2.5-point favorites over Auburn, total of 162.5. Man, I got to be honest. It's been a tournament of all favorites. But with these lines, in these games, it's the dogs for me. Houston has been my national champion pick all along, and we saw them put on a defensive clinic against Tennessee in their Elite Eight game. Duke has been incredible all season long, but they've never faced a defense quite like Houston. Very few teams have faced a defense quite like Houston. In fact, if you just look at teams in the ACC who Duke has faced, let's see. Clemson, 17th in defensive efficiency rating on Ken Palm. All right. North Carolina, 46th. We're not exactly looking at the top defensive conference in college basketball. Yet, Houston, number 1. Not even close. St. John's, number 2. Then there's Tennessee. Duke is actually number 4. But again, that's adjusted for the past several games. If we go back to, I guess, before the tournament, we'll see defensive ratings. Let's go back to, this season. Yeah, we'd have to go back to the dates and look at Ken Palm through the dates. But Duke's been great defensively, certainly in this tournament, not giving up a ton of points. But Houston is the best defense that they're going to see. They're the best defense in the country. And I think Houston upsets Duke. I'll certainly take the points. And Auburn, that's going to be a great game. Florida and Auburn. I lean towards Auburn. I'll take the points here with Auburn. Looking back to the regular season and inside the conference tournament here. Well, they didn't play each other in the conference tournament because Auburn lost to Tennessee. And Auburn had that rough stretch at the end of the year where they lost 3 out of their last 4 games coming into the NCAA tournament, which had people concerned about them. But these two teams only played one time. They played one time this year, and that was a game that was in Neville Arena, so it was a home game for Auburn. 90-88, Florida beat Auburn. And in that game, Florida shot 13 of 33 from 3, Auburn 7 of 22. In that game, let's see. Walter Clayton had 19 points. Alex Condon had 17. Miles Kelly led the way for Auburn with 22. Janai Broom had 18. And Tahad Pettiford had 14 off the bench. That's the only sample that we have to go by this year. But in this matchup, when we get down to this moment in the Final Four, I lean on coaching. And no disrespect to Todd Golden, and no disrespect to Jon Scheyer. Todd Golden being the coach of Florida, Jon Scheyer being the coach of Duke. But I give the coaching edge in both of those matchups to the guys that have the pedigree, to the Hall of Famers, to the lifers, in Bruce Pearl with Auburn and Kelvin Sampson with Houston. My national championship, when I filled out my bracket, was Houston over Auburn in the national title game. That's what I'm going with, and I'm sticking with it here. I also had St. John's in the Final Four, so go figure. Speaking of St. John's and Michigan State, the trend is now still alive. Since the tournament expanded in 1985, there has never been a 1 or a 2 seed that was unranked in the preseason poll make the Final Four. Michigan State and St. John's this year were both unranked in the preseason top 25, and both were 2 seeds in this tournament. They both obviously are not in the Final Four. That means going back to 1985, 0 for 41. That's right. There have been 41 times that a 1 or a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament was not ranked in the preseason top 25. All 41 of those teams were eliminated prior to the Final Four. That's amazing. And that's what we saw here in this game. Michigan State ousted by the number 1 overall seed, Auburn. I'm Scott Seidenberg, always on Twitter at ScottsOnAir, ScottsOnair. You can hit me up there. You can hit us up at VSIN Live on Twitter as well. Let me tell you guys about Edge Boost, because Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring that all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cashback rewards, 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code LIVE. Deposit $25 and Edge Boost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet. We have a final on the ice. The Carolina Hurricanes have covered the goal and a half, beating the New York Islanders by a 6-4 score. We have 2 more games that the puck will drop on later on, about a half an hour, about 20 minutes or so from now. The Maple Leafs at the Ducks, Toronto -170, and then the Sharks are at the Kings about an hour or so from now. LA, a massive -360 favorite. We are sweating out our first official live bet of the program with the New York Knicks money line. About a little over a minute left to go in the third quarter. Blazers still leading the Knicks 78-74. More of what's going on in the NBA and Sunday Night Baseball underway as well from San Diego. It's all coming up next right here on Live Bet Sunday with me, Scott Seidenberg, here on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Live Bet Sunday on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back here on Live Bet Sunday, I'm Scott Seidenberg here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We're keeping an eye on our live bet in the NBA. Third quarter is winding down. The Knicks do have a 79-78 lead over the Portland Trailblazers, but Portland looking to get the lead back prior to the end of the third quarter. We'll see what happens here in the next 30 seconds or so of this quarter, as we do have the Knicks on a money line bet, and we'll give you the updated odds as soon as this game goes to the end of the third quarter, and we see if there are any live betting opportunities. Elsewhere on your NBA schedule, we have the Bucks with a 53-46 lead over the Hawks in the second quarter. Also in the second quarter, Pistons on top of the Timberwolves, 34-26. The Hornets lead the Pelicans 31-26, and the Warriors all over the Spurs, 46-29. First quarter action, the Sixers an early 6-5 lead over the Raptors. That one just got underway. And the Rockets and Suns will tip off in about an hour and a half from now. One final from earlier, the Cavs with a 127-122 win over the Clippers. All right, the third quarter has come to a close, and it looks like the Knicks will hold on to this lead. 79-78, the Knicks leading the Blazers at the end of the third quarter. So let's check the market right now and see if there are any live betting opportunities. Here's what we have. Knicks, as I mentioned earlier, they closed as a 7-point favorite in this game. So the Knicks closed as a 7-point favorite. They were trailing by 8 at the half. Right now, at the end of the third quarter, with the Knicks having a 1-point lead, live line, Knicks -5.5, live total 211.5. And the total closed on this game at 219. So live betting line, Knicks -5.5, and your total 211.5. If you just look at the teams that and how they perform in the fourth quarter this season, points per fourth quarter on the year, the Knicks average 27.4 points per fourth quarter. The Blazers, 27.2 points per fourth quarter. So they literally, these teams identical in terms of their fourth quarter scoring numbers. But the Knicks right now holding on to a 1-point lead, and the live number has gone down. So a little bit of money coming in on the Blazers, I guess, as now it is Knicks -4.5, a juiced -4.5. The total has been bet up, though, to 212.5. Again, Knicks with a 79-78 lead. We are on the Knicks money line in this game that we bet at the half when they were down by 8 points. I would play the -4.5. It's not a strong bet. It's not a bet for me, but it is a lean on that for the Knicks at -4.5 for the live line, because I do think that they're going to go on to win the fourth quarter and go on to win this game. We also have Major League Baseball, Sunday Night Baseball in progress right now from San Diego. The Atlanta Braves taking on the Padres. The Padres have won the first 3 games of this series, so they are looking to go for a 4-game sweep of the Atlanta Braves. Now, I looked up some data, and I wanted to see how the situation occurred last year. So last season, in this role, and what I mean by this role is you're playing a team for a 4-game series, and you have lost the first 3 games of that series. How do you do in the 4th game? Well, those teams last year were profitable on the money line in those 4 games, in the final game of that 4-game series. Going back several years, it's about a 50% type of about 50% trend just going on the money line on those teams, but more so last year, about 23-18 it was for the teams. I'll give you the exact numbers here in just a second as we'll pull this thing up. Going back to last season, 23-18, I believe it was, for the straight-up numbers for the teams looking to avoid the sweep. So I really liked the the Braves in this role. Pitching matchup for this game was A.J. Smith-Shawver on the mound for the Atlanta Braves, and Nick Pivetta making his debut here for the San Diego Padres. Right now, we're in the bottom of the third inning, or we are heading to the bottom of the third inning, and the Padres do have a 1-0 lead, that one run coming in the first inning on a Manny Machado double that scored Fernando Tatis Jr. But right now, Pivetta, his numbers through 3 innings, only 1 hit allowed, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. Smith-Shawver, 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, and 3 strikeouts with 2 walks. So not a great performance right now from, well, I mean, it's okay. He's only given up 1 run on 3 hits, but the 2 walks, not good. 41 pitches through 2 innings, not good either. So you'd certainly like Smith-Shawver to settle down here, and we'll see. First time through the lineup, maybe the bats heat up here for the Braves. Speaking of first times through the lineup, I've been doing a lot of first 3 inning bets this season in Major League Baseball. It's still early, so I'm still accumulating data from this season, but I wanted to isolate these bets this season because I feel like there's a real advantage that we can take in the market just by doing these first 3 inning bets. Now, sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't work out, just like every, betting system goes. So far on the year, it's been, for me, about 50-50. I think I'm 7-7 on these first, 7-1 on these first 3 inning bets. So down a little bit of juice, although some of them are plus money. But here's my thought process behind the first 3 inning bets. Is if you can isolate how a certain starting, because think about it, in the first 3 innings, you don't have to worry about the bullpens, right? If you can isolate how a pitcher does in the first time through the lineup, so how they do first time facing a batter in the game, and how they do per inning, and those numbers, this data is all available. It's all out there. But if you can isolate a pitching matchup, let's say, where one pitcher starts off historically slow and another pitcher starts off fast. And this happens all the time in baseball. Sometimes you get guys that just, for one reason or another, whether they are not good in the bullpen before the game when they're warming up, not on the same page with their catcher, maybe they don't have the scouting report on the opposing team, whatever it is, or they're just not comfortable yet. They're not stretched out. They got to get into the flow of the game before they start to get into a rhythm or whatnot. Whatever it is. There's certainly, whatever reason, there's certainly big discrepancies amongst a lot of pitchers in baseball in these splits. For example, let's look back to last season alone, okay? Just last season, if we look at how pitchers did their first time facing a team through the lineup, the best team in baseball at this was the Seattle Mariners across all of their pitchers. The Mariners were the best team in the first time through the lineup. And one of the best pitchers in baseball was Logan Gilbert last year. Opposing hitters last year against Logan Gilbert, the first time through the lineup, batted just 146 against him. And he had an 11.25 strikeout to walk ratio the first time through the lineup. So whatever it was, for whatever reason, maybe the batters just weren't comfortable picking him up early on in the game, or maybe he had a good way of approaching guys early on, or the way that he warms up before the game, he was just ready to go in the first inning. But he had incredible numbers last year the first time through the lineup. And it's the same thing in the very first inning of games. Opponents batting just 148 against him. He only allowed 7 first-inning runs the entire season in 22 games. It's good numbers. So if you can isolate these matchups, the first 3 innings can be a very profitable betting strategy for you. Speaking of profitable betting strategies, the Sharp Plays at sharpplays.com is your secret weapon to take your sports betting to the next level. They provide daily updates on what top pro bettors and betting groups are wagering on, so you're always ahead of the game. And you can check out the Sharp Plays free content anytime. Get real-time betting action reports, alerts, and more through email and X directly from the pros, and explore all of their records. It's all documented on their website at sharpplays.com. With the Sharp Plays, you're joining a team that has never had a losing year. Start today and get access to the best betting insights at sharpplays.com.